Welcome in, everybody, to Betting Pros. It's time to place your bets. It is me, Joey P. Joe P. With me, as always, every Monday and every Thursday. It's Scott Bogman. We're here live, 5 p.m. Eastern on all the primetime games. Scott Bogman, I know it was a rough Sunday for your Steelers. I know you're not in the best mood. I did have the Houston Texans defense in some DFS lineups, though. It was a contrarian play. So I was a happy boy.
Yeah, great.
Paired with Christian McCaffrey, that all worked out very nicely for me. Joey
Yes,
P had a good day. But I'm sorry that you have to watch Mitch Trubisky again, because it seems like that might be.
What is the difference, Joe? When it comes down to it, this is what I said. I said Trubisky will complete more passes, but also give the ball up more. And Pickett's going to hold on to the ball and not complete as many passes. So none of it matters when Matt Canada is your offensive coordinator. It's all going to look bad. So until he gets switched, none of it matters. So hook him. Longhorns are going to the national championship.
There you go. We're on to the orange. That's right. We're just going right to it. And good for you, as you should. By the way, in case you haven't checked it out, the football coverage here on the college side with Bogman and Mike and Thor is just spectacular. Make sure you're checking out the live streams there. Make sure you're checking out all the pods they're doing. It's great stuff. Phenomenal work so far. You guys are absolutely killing it. But today is about Monday Night Football, and we've got ourselves a game between the New York Giants and the Seattle Seahawks, and we're going to break that game down for you in just a second. But guess what else we got? A new giveaway. Hey, it's that time again. If you want a chance to win a signed Odell Beckham Jr. Baltimore Ravens jersey, courtesy of bettingpros.com, your place to start betting smarter, not harder, you need to subscribe to the Betting Pros YouTube channel right now. Comment below in this video, and that's it. We'll be announcing our winner right here on the channel, so make sure you turn on those notifications, click that bell till it goes ding, so you can be alerted if you are the winner and when new episodes of the Betting Pros show drops, so you can claim your prize, that Odell Beckham jersey. Okay, everybody, here we go. Seahawks at New York. Right now over on Betting Pros, you can see where we're at. I'll try to actually get this a little bit bigger here for everybody to see. There it is. Okay. 46 is the total, 46.5 over on DK. Still, you can get that. The Giants, of course, home underdogs at +2.5, -105 on the DK machine. On FanDuel, of course, is the best spot where you get the -110 odds for the -2.5 for the Seattle Seahawks. If you like New York to win on the money line, it's +126. A relatively close game here. Seattle Seahawks and the Giants, neither have been really strong defensively this year, Scott Bogman. I think that's a good thing we could lay out there. But I think the biggest thing in this game is the difference between Daniel Jones with Saquon Barkley, Daniel Jones without Saquon Barkley. When you look at those numbers, they are very stark. We're talking about a 20-point differential in terms of passer rating. We're talking about the win total, which is what we're talking about here. We're talking about wagering going way down. He is under 500 in his career without Saquon Barkley. And I get it. You take the best player from a team away in offense, it struggles, but it's not like Daniel Jones seems to be able to overcome that significant loss. That's been the problem for the Giants. So how do you see this one tonight shaking out when you look at the numbers?
Yeah, I think this is a Seattle win, fairly easily. The Giants, I thought they're going to look much better this season. You add Darren Waller, you have a guy like Jalen Hyatt to kind of stretch the defense. You add in a guy that can do a lot in Paris Campbell, but they're just not using him. And when Saquon goes out, it's back to let's throw the ball to Darius Slayton and see if Daniel Jones can run. And none of it's working. And, Brian Daboll looks like a tomato on the sideline most of the time with that beet red face and bald head. It's just, I feel bad for him. It just, I know he's working his hardest and all of them are, but, you talk about a guy that's not getting one Mississippi behind a line either. The Giants are tough. Now, this is the question here because the Seahawks are dead last in yards allowed per game passing, I believe. I think it's like 328 yards per game. They're the only team giving up more than 300 per game right now. The Chargers are 299.8. Even the Broncos, who are horrific, 285.5. And it's 328 for Seattle. A lot of passing yards given up. They've had some injuries in the secondary. I understand, but Daniel Jones is going to have to win by passing. This team does give up some passing yards in Seattle, but they just don't score. The Giants haven't been scoring at all.
Yeah, they haven't.
So give me the Seahawks in this game on the road. And I'll take the under because don't believe in the Giants offense right now.
I'm not touching the over-under because they are at home. Okay, and I feel like it's a pretty good number. And
I
I
agree
just
with
feel
that.
like if you're going to get a Giants team, if it's going to start to look a little bit better, give them the Seattle Seahawks defense, who misses pieces all over the place and, who was giving up yards all over the place too. I don't really have a strong belief in Daniel Jones tonight. I do believe Darren Waller will have himself a good game tonight. I'll get to more Darren Waller when we talk to the player props in a second. But to me, the best number on the board is the -2.5. Like, give me the -2.5. I do think Seattle wins this one comfortably by the field goal. And I think that's good. That's where you wanted to be. I don't, the juice is too much on the -138. That's not where you want to be on the FanDuel side of stuff here, as you can see on Betting Pros. And don't forget, make sure you're syncing all your sports books and making all your wagers there. But that over-under bogs, it just feels right to me. Like, I don't have there's nothing statistically speaking that says necessarily that the New York Giants can support any total nowadays, but they are at home. There is a little bit of desperation. And I feel like those two elements together, especially when you have a team like Seattle traveling, I think that does mean that I expect the Giants to show up in this game at the end of the day. I think that's the biggest part.
And we have just in the secondary, Trey Brown out, Artie Burns out, who's not good anyway. Kobe Bryant doubtful, Quandre Diggs questionable. So there's a lot of missing pieces. They do get Jamal Adams back, who we know can't cover and can only blitz. But but
he's not healthy either. Let's be honest.
Well, he's never going to be what
he's never
was.
been.
Yeah, no, too many injuries for him, too many quads and calves, and it's just been bad for Jamal. But so Seattle's defense can give up some yards, but I mean, they still have a good pass rush. Boye Mafe is taking the next step. Uchenna Nwosu is one of my favorite defensive linemen to watch in the NFL.
Nwosu's a good
much
player.
Fun.
So is Mafe. Those are good picks that they made the last couple of years.
And this is a team that is bad on the O-line. I mean, in terms of pass rush grade, one is worse on PFF scale. It's the Steelers. That's it. That is
wow. Talk about giving you a cut and pouring lemon juice in it. I didn't mean to do this to you today, but you're doing it to yourself, I feel like.
You don't play left tackle. So
that's true. Yeah. And neither does the guy who plays left tackle for the Pittsburgh Steelers, apparently. But anyway, that's where we see the game right now. Again, I think Bogman and I, our favorite thing right now is the -2.5 on Seattle. And it's a weird thing whenever Bogman and I agree on something, so everybody should take it to heart. Also, don't forget, you should be making all of your adjustments in the NFL contest. Make sure you're making your picks at bettingpros.com/NFL contest. Put them in the contest. Make 5 picks a week, 100 in the year, and you can win that Jackson Smith and Jigba jersey. And you say, oh, Joe, I can't win that because I missed all of September. Well, of course you can, because you're giving away weekly prizes, monthly prizes. We're doing all of it. We're doing upgrades to Betting Pros, to Fantasy Pros. We're giving away hats and t-shirts to Betting Pros and Fantasy Pros. So swag, fun stuff just for making picks. You don't even have to make the bet. You just got to make the pick at the end of the day. That's all you got to do. So go check it out right now. Again, that's bettingpros.com/NFL contest, or just download the app and go to the community tab and go and join the community tab. That's all you got to do. All right, Scott Bogman, it's time to talk a little prop action here. Let's start here with Danny Dimes. Now, I had a legit throwdown argument Sunday morning on TV because Derek Brown was very excited for Daniel Jones. He's very excited, of course, then for Darren Waller. I do not share this excitement. However, it looks like you might share a little of it here when it comes to Daniel Jones, 230.5 passing yards. You're going over.
Yeah, I mean, we just talked about Seattle has been the worst secondary in the NFL so far. Plus, I think Seattle wins this game going away. So I think the Giants are going to have to pass. Saquon is doubtful, most likely not playing. So I think we're going to just see a decent amount of passing here from the Giants. And I think this number is so low because Danny Dimes has been so bad that is going to be passable for him. So I do think that Daniel Jones is going to throw for over 230.5. Although I'm really starting to hate the Giants, Joe. I mean, I really am. I keep getting this team on Thursday nights and Monday nights. And I keep thinking, they screwed me last week. Slayton and Paris Campbell both got me. So they were playing the Niners, much, much better defense.
Well, we were pretty clear about that one too. He said the Niners, you can't compete with Saquon. You're not going to compete without Saquon. against San Francisco on the road. Like that wasn't happening. That was
Right.
going to be a massacre, and it was. It was exactly what we thought it would be.
Yeah, and so you have extra time to prep in this game. So maybe you draw up something different. Maybe you change some things. I would think, what is the definition of insanity? It's repeating the same things over and over and expecting different results. It's not going to change. So let's put Jalen Hyatt out there a little bit more.
I thought it was trying to reason with my ex-wife. I thought that was the definition of insanity.
Is there a difference in the statements I just said here?
No,
So,
no,
I mean, look,
no.
I feel like they are going to have to pass more. It's two things. It's number one, you can't run the ball. You just can't. This offensive line is bad enough at pass blocking. They cannot run block at all. And you're going to be down. So you're going to have to pass. So there's multiple outs to this over, which is why I like it.
We're getting a lot of questions in the chat about DK Metcalf, who's not on your list, but here we go. We got a couple of them. We got Mad Chillin. Can we trust DK to get 90 yards receiving? And then they got Sammy here too. Love the show, fellas. Thanks, Sammy. Appreciate you watching the show. How are you guys feeling tonight about DK and the yardage and a possible anytime touchdown? So we haven't talked about DK yet. DK is not on your list. So let's bring him up and let's chat about him because DK obviously is, a hot button guy. Everybody loves DK Metcalf, big star. Do you see anything that's really exciting to you when it comes to DK Metcalf in this game?
I mean, DK Metcalf is always exciting to me. So I think if I'm picking a player outside of Ken Walker to score a touchdown in this game, it's probably DK. He gets in the end zone.
See, my guy is Darren Waller. I'm picking Darren Waller specifically because D-Bro did give me some stats regarding against the tight end for Seattle, how they struggle. So that was one where it's like, okay, this is the one guy I feel like you can kind of sort of trust. By the way, player score a touchdown plus 150 for DK Metcalf. Not bad. I know Bogman likes a little higher, but I'm getting plus 200. Actually, I think it was 210 or 240. I can't remember. I got to go back and look at it on FanDuel for Darren Waller, which was a pretty good number. So I locked that in earlier today. The receiving yards right now, actually, I'm looking at it. The best odds you can get 68.5 right now. And that number, let me just see where that one is right now, because that's another one.
I think Mad Chillin might need 90 yards for a fantasy win.
For a fantasy win, that's a little different. That's a little different there, buddy. And we're good. We want to help you with your fantasy stuff. We're here. We're doing stuff anyway. But
yeah, thank you guys. Any questions you have, please put them in the chat.
We'll answer that. Life questions, football questions. It doesn't matter. But yeah, man, we appreciate you guys. But look, I think that 70 is reasonable. Look, this is not going to be a defensive struggle tonight. That's basically what Boggs and I are getting at. This is hardly going to be that. So we have Daniel Jones, the over in 230.5. Ken Walker, that's another popular piece. How do you see this one working out?
Yeah, I love the over for both the running backs for Seattle. It's over 66.5 for Ken Walker and over 23.5 for Zack Charbonnet. And we saw Charbonnet get a little more involved last season or last week. It was 51-43. They also won going away, which I feel like they might do in this game as well. So you're killing the clock at the end of the game. You're working against that defensive line. And with Walker, I think we get a lot of this in a burst. I think we get like a 20 to 30 yard scamper out of him. I do like, as the juice in the chat here. Love that name, the juice. He says,
you like Walker it, juice?
Wheeze the juice. The Walker anytime touchdown is a good play in my opinion as well here. But I just think that if the Seahawks get up, you're going to see a lot of running in this game, which is why I don't. Which is why I didn't pick. It's why I didn't pick any receiving props for the Seahawks here. It is because I do think they get up. Is our damage done early by DK and Tyler Lockett? If it's not, then they might not be passing a lot in the late third, early fourth. It's still the NFL. These games can be close, blah, blah, blah. But I think that in the most case, you're going to be throwing a lot on third down if you're Seattle and working that run game and possess the ball. Give that defense a little bit of a break. Both these teams are pretty bad at time of possession, to be honest with you. They're both, I believe, in the lower third. So I think if one team is going to take advantage of that, I think it is absolutely going to be the Seattle Seahawks here.
Yeah, Walker minus 115 anytime touchdown score, not a great number. But on FanDuel, plus 250 on Darren Waller. I think if you want Ken Walker, you might just throw a smaller piece on the either first touchdown score at plus 550, or I believe, here it is, 2 touchdowns for Ken Walker, also plus 500. So if you want to just say it's the Ken Walker day today and he, everyone's short of the end zone and then you get Ken Walker fall in the end zone a couple times, There you go. It's a much better number to go either first or go for the double dip there. Just put a smaller unit on it. Just don't bet it quite as hard. Or if you want to take the lock and easy money, you bet 3 units on the minus 130 and you take your lumps and you make a little bit more. It's an investment at the end of the day. That's what it is. It's an investment. All right. So Ken Walker's in there. What about Zack Charbonnet? Another guy who gets some work in this backfield a little lately. What do you think about him?
Yeah, so our Charbonnet, 23.5 rushing yards, I think is low. As mentioned before, his snap count was up. Yes, they were winning going away last week, but it was 24%, 26%, 43%. He played in 12, 19, and now 32 snaps. So it's been moving up and up and up. And the Giants, I think the numbers off the site that I got yesterday weren't exactly accurate now that I'm looking at this. So let me just double check on the rushing yards allowed per game.
Well, while Bogman's checking on Giants. Bogman's checking on that.
It's 138. Those were correct. 138 yards.
Those were correct. But again, we've got the new show we just dropped today for the look ahead. Every single Monday, we drop that look ahead show. Set your line alerts over your game notifications on the BP app too, so you can stay up to date with everything that's going on. A lot of line movement is going to happen this week because there's some more injuries to deal with. But you found the number you wanted. What was it?
138 yards per game. Yeah. The Seattle Seahawks are giving up right now, which is 27th in the league. The Steelers are below them also. But it's been bad for the Giants run defense right now, and their pass defense and their team has just not been very good. So I do think that the Seahawks put up some big rushing numbers on them.
All right. So Charbonnet's in there, Walker's in there, Jones in there, Darius Slayton, another piece. There's a fun one you have here for everybody. What is it?
Yeah, let's pair it, right? We have the over on the Daniel Jones passing yard. So let's go ahead and have the longest reception over 18.5 yards. His average depth of target this season is 14.7. A lot of those are balls that are probably uncatchable from Daniel Jones, who's running for his life back there and over his head. But I think, if he throws one, if he throws takes a couple deep shots to Slayton, we can get one over that 18. So I really like that one this week.
All right. And one more we always like to do a little on the defensive side, Bog. So what do you have for everybody today?
Yeah, I looked over the tackles, man, and I really like the tackle totals, but my radar was off by like 1 on a bunch of them yesterday, which is so annoying. Jason Pinnock too. I don't know if you saw the Thursday night game, Joe. Oh my God. So Pinnock had a shot.
Kids like to say,
dude, Pinnock had a shot twice at McCaffrey on the same play and missed him both times. And I missed that by half a tackle. I missed his prop last week. He is elusive.
He's slippery, that Christian McCaffrey.
But you have 2 shots at him. He had the first shot and the last shot. Couldn't get him on either. Oh my God. Anyway, but let's go with a sack. Let's go with Uchenna Nwosu to put up over a quarter of a sack, which means he qualifies on this even with the half. We looked at Cincinnati last week, Joe, and I got Sam Hubbard and Trey Hendrickson, before halftime, both had a sack. So I like that. The juice isn't great on this one. I believe it's plus 145. So I like that. Yeah, Dominic, I bet against the Niners, but I was thinking they're going to be on offense the whole game. So Pinnock definitely puts up a bunch of tackles. That's why it wasn't betting against the Niners. It was betting on the Niners possessing the ball.
Arizona's plucky. They're very plucky. I took them last night when I was putting together the look ahead show. They were plus 5 last night. That number's already plus 3 just in 24 hours. Not even 12 hours. Basically, it moved already. So again, and you can follow me at bettingpros.com/Joe. You can follow Bogman too. I had a crap week though. I got to say, not a good week for me this week. I was 11-4 last week. This week, not good, but I made up for it with one big bet that I made. And this is why you in-game live bet sometimes. I'm watching the Denver Broncos, Boggs. Watching them play, and they're down. Sorry. Well, no, but they're down to the Chicago Bears. And I'm thinking to myself, there's no way the Bears are going to come away with a victory. They're going to find a way to screw this pooch. And at the time, the number went to plus 520 for the Denver Broncos. And I went, you know what? I'm locking that bad boy in. They're only down by a score and change here. They could definitely move it. Guess what? Boom, go down the field. They scored. Now, I did have a mini panic attack when they got down there to field goal range, and I thought they were going to kick a field goal, but then the Bears didn't kick a field goal. Instead, they called a timeout, and I went, okay, now they're probably going to go kick a field goal. And then they didn't the second time, and then they didn't get it. And then I knew that I made a lot of money, and I made it all back. So there you go. You're having a bad day. Maybe you don't like the things you invested in this game. Just wait. Find the opportunity when the lines move inside the game. Sometimes that's a fun thing to do. There was a question here, too, I want to bring up real quick, and then we'll recap what we've done today. I think it was Mad Chillin brought up about Breida's number, 44.5. I don't love this one. I know it makes sense on paper to go the over, but this is another one, Boggs, it just feels really right to me, so I don't see a lot of value on it. Do you?
Yeah, it's also been a trend in the NFL this year. Like, if you get down, you just completely abandon the run game. We've seen the Vikings do it a bunch. We've seen the Giants do it. They did it against the Niners last week, right? So when a team is down, they just abandon it. I don't know if this game is going to get as out of hand as the other games the Giants have played this year have already, but the Giants are bad. So I do think they abandon that run game fairly quickly. So you're going to need to get this one from Breida, I would assume, in the first 10 carries that he has. And I just don't know if you're going to get that. So
yeah, I don't love it. I just think there's better things. I think the anytime touchdown plus money tonight. Again, I think that's where you want to go. Waller specifically, the plus 240
against the run this year, and that is a team that has not possessed the ball as much as other teams.
And they've gone up against some teams that can run the football too. I mean, Detroit's a team that can run the football. Like there's a couple of teams.
Yeah, but they also play Carolina and the Rams. So the Rams.
Well, Carolina's team that had to play the football. The Rams did not, right? But
yeah.
You mean Kyron Williams isn't the savior of the backfield? Yeah.
Look, Kyron Williams is a good player, but as a all-around running back, I would say that's not his skill. His skill set is as a guy that can catch the ball out of the backfield, run your reverses. They need a Hulk there. They don't have a Hulk. Kyron is not that guy. So.
No, and Ronnie Rivers isn't either. This is a fun one from the Juice. That he tells me that I need to send Eberflus a thank you card. You know what? I think you're right. Maybe a nice edible arrangement.
Edible arrangements, man. I sent one to Josh McDaniels for not going for it on 4th down last week. So
you know what? I had a feeling once Sean Payton had his sleeves cut off that things were going to go the Denver Broncos way. You know, why don't you start cutting off the? Why did he do that too? You have any idea what happened there? All of a sudden, I see the guy on the sideline. Like, what the hell's going on? And then all of a sudden, he walks away from him.
Does it?
Let's not take lessons from him right now. Things are not going well in New England. The only person more depressed than Scott Bogman is me. At least he has a future to look at. I don't see any future here with this. Just to recap, we both like Seattle minus 2.5. So again, with Bogman and I agree, you should pay attention. Boggs is leading the under. I'm not touching this. I'm taking the 2.5 and I'm running. I don't like the number, but hey, good on you. You like the under. Go for it.
I don't like the score. That's most of it.
Well, look, if you're going Daniel Jones over 230.5, which is what you want to do, then this is going to be close to that number. Ken Walker over 66.5. Boggs likes that one too. Charbonnet over 23.5 rushing yards. You're getting both of those rushing numbers at minus 115. And Darius Slayton longest over 18.5 yards, and the ADOT is 14.7 for him. So the longest reception for him, taking the over on that one. And also 0.25 sacks, you're getting plus 145 on that. That one, my friend, might be the best bang for your buck. Maybe you put the 2.5, and with that,
just get that on the first drive. Put it away, man. I hate putting out those sack bets. I did get.
You've been getting some of them early though, because I get those texts from Bogman. Like a game will start at 8:30, and then like at 8:40, my phone will go off. I'll be like sitting watching something with the kids, and I'm taping the game to watch later. And then like ding, I look. He goes, "Zach, got it." He's very excited.
Well, the week 1 for Hargrave, or maybe it was week 2, I got on literally the last play of the game.
Yes,
so the last
I
play
am
of the
asleep
game
by then.
That
I'm watching because I'm old. Everybody, that's why.
All right, get your pudding and go to bed. Let's go.
That's right. I do love pudding. Pudding's delicious. I mean,
it's not bad.
If you don't like pudding, something's wrong with you.
I feel like the older you get, the more you're like young, you appreciate pudding, then you don't want it at all, and then you're back to liking it. I feel like.
I think I always liked pudding. I think pudding's delicious. Pudding specifically. Yeah, pudding guy.
Right.
Yeah,
snack packs.
Whipped cream. And a snack pack. Where's the snack pack? All about the snack pack. Don't forget to join the NFL contest. bettingpros.com/NFL contest. Download the Betting Pros app, sync all your sports books, start betting smarter, not harder. Use the tools at Betting Pros. Don't forget iOS members, when you download that bad boy, you know what you get? You get 3 free days of the Betting Pros premium products. So go check that out right now. Sync and track all your bets on BP. and enjoy Monday Night Football, everybody. That'll do it for us. But the story of the game goes on. For Bogman, I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids.